All right, what is up? I'm not wearing any clothes right now because it's so hot. I'm just not gonna stand up so y'all don't see my meat. But here's how I made 230 bucks today. If you look at my account balance from yesterday, you'll see that I made 277, my bad. But market open right on this candle, swept 5 minute lows. I wanted longs to those relatively equal highs over there. As you see, we did go up, but let me show you guys what happened. I actually didn't enter that long. Here's why. Alright, so we sweep it. And guys, look at where we break structure. Not right here. We end up breaking structure all the way above this high. And I did not enjoy that entry at all. So what I wanted was a retracement to this fair value gap, which I usually don't do. But I kind of got traumatized from yesterday. Oops, my bad. I got traumatized from yesterday. And I ended up not entering that trade. So this was supposed to be my trade of the day. If you watched my strategy videos, you would know that this is my strategy. But I didn't enter because I didn't like the pricing on that. Plus, it would have been a bad risk reward 101.18. That's to 1 to 1.18, yeah. So I didn't really like that. I wanted that retracement, but this is where things get serious. So we're pretty close to my high. We're pretty close to the take profit I wanted. And I see the market break structure to the downside when we close below this low. I'm like, you know what? What if I take a short? Because we already took out the highs on ES, and I was like, you know what? What if we just make an SMT and shoot down? And I wanted it to sweep out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright, there you go. I wanted it to sweep out that low. As you can see, we never went that far down. And I was up like 500 something at that moment. And I knew I should have exited once he hit that fair value gap, but I didn't. I was greedy. And as soon as Powell started speaking, show you guys. So this was the first trade. As soon as he started speaking, we shot up, and I knew we were gonna hit my break even because I'd already moved my stop loss to break even. So I was like, you know what? I'd rather at least make something. So I closed, making 120 off of that. But then, as you can see, we swept the relatively equal highs. We had a 4 hour for value gap that I wanted to have filled. Because we already entered it. So I was like, you know, if we get a 1 minute break to the upside after we had swept that high, I would have taken a long, which I did. I'll show you guys right now. So as you can see, we consolidate like barely, and then we get a long model that forms. We swept liquidity, but I traded in the same direction of the liquidity that was swept. It was what I basically told you guys that I was going on FX replay for yesterday. I was seeing if that also worked. It's the same concept. It's just saying that there's not always going to be a reversal. But as you can see, I enter right there. Or no, 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 no. Actually, I entered at the retracement. So I did trade a little bit past the time that I was supposed to. But that's because I was really, like, my model formed at 7:08. I'm not allowed to trade after 7:10, but my model formed at 7:08. So I enter another trade here. And then I took a partial, like, at this high. And I took a little bit out here, and then that made me like 260. But then I entered like a smaller trade. Like I kept scalping. At one point, I was up to 300 on the day, but I ended up losing 30. I was just like, I'm gonna call it a day. Took my first loss, small loss. I was only risking 30 bucks on the scalp. I was just like bored, so I wasn't risking anything that would really affect it. and I made $10 doing that. But I was gonna say something. First off, I never do that, but I was just so bored and I was losing $30 wouldn't have really affected me, and my mindset was the second I lose a trade, I'm off. I'm not gonna do it no more. I'm only really gonna lose $30. I ended up making 10, and then I lost 30, called it a day. And yeah, that was really it. So I made like $93 this week. I went from being down since Tuesday to losing a trade Thursday and then winning today. I'm kind of I really wanted that retracement to that fair value app, and when we got it, I was just I was already in that short, and I didn't enter, and I learned my lesson. Either way, I wouldn't have entered off of that fair value gap getting hit just because we were so close to Powell speaking. But I shouldn't have entered that short, if I'm being honest. My first trade just should have been that long, no matter the entry. Could have been one micro. It's not about making money, it's just about entering based off of my strategy forms, and I'm gonna admit, this week I was not good at doing that. I was entering with a like yesterday. If you guys look at my video, I risked like $600 to make 250 just because it was gonna go up. It was really bad pricing. And yeah, I knew it was gonna go up, but risking $600 would have destroyed me mentally, and I knew that, but I still did it. This week really affected me emotionally. I really let my emotions get a hold of me. Yeah, I ended up in profit, but if I can't, I mean, I will. I can. I'm gonna control my emotions, but when you can't control your emotions in trading, no matter how much profit you make, it doesn't belong to you. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna lose it because you can't control yourself. But yeah, I'll call it a day. That's it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll catch y'all Monday if I trade. I don't think I'm gonna trade just because it's my first day of school, university. But yeah, I'll catch y'all.